Everybody, Cashflow Kris here, taking on.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris here at
What's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris with Investors Edge Real Estate Group here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Leveling Up Book Club. We are working Traction. Today is day one of our Traction book. This is an absolutely amazing book that will help you build your business, especially if you're a smaller business. So I got a few messages coming in here. Let's see. It's not letting me join, says an error. I guess none of you guys had a problem, so nothing I can do about that. Jordan, can you reach out to Nathan and try to help him get on?
Okay.
I'll forward you a screenshot with his info. Just a second. Here, I'll put it on the Leveling Up group. All right, so yes, today is first day of Traction. So you were supposed to read up to chapter 3, which is the vision component. If you didn't, that's okay. We're gonna run through everything and you can catch up. Eric, did you read? I see you.
I read up to chapter 1. I was just thinking it's like, oh, we're just covering chapter 1. And I actually did all the, the EOS world checkup.
Perfect. Okay, perfect.
So I'm 1/3 of the way there.
Again, no big deal. You know, we'll go as we can. So let's get started on this. I will go and share the amazing spreadsheet or the amazing presentation that Cyrus made for me. All right, Traction. All right, a few reminders before we start. Book club is done most every Friday, 10 a.m. We're always going to be live here on Zoom. It's definitely going to be a discussion group. Thoughts and insights are encouraged inside the group. Show up and do the work. No distractions. When you're here, please stay here. Please stay muted just for side noise. Keep an open mind and don't be a dick. Stay positive. So we're doing Traction, which is by Gino Wickman. Looks like Gino was an entrepreneur since the age of 21. He's dedicated his life to learning what makes businesses thrive. At 25, he took over his business. You guys can read that. I don't need to bore you with that. So I can tell you that Gino has at least 3 books. So this is kind of a 3-part series. Get a Grip is the first book, and it's basically just like a storyline about a company and their need for certain processes and systems. It's basically the intro to Traction. So if you resonate with that book, you need to read Traction. So not really necessary to read. Traction is what we're working, and then once you have Traction implemented, then Jet Fuel, or I think it's called Jet Fuel. I'll look it up while I'm talking, but yeah, they have another one for people who have already implemented and they want to grow. Rocket Fuel. All right, so this book is not another silver bullet management book or flavor of the month strategy. It's based on real world experience, practical wisdom, and timeless truths. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you're probably experiencing one or more of the 5 common frustrations. Number 1, lack of control. Number 2, people. 3, profit. A lot of people are just making a lot of money, but they're not keeping a lot of money. The ceiling, so you may be hitting a ceiling that you don't feel that you can surpass, or maybe you feel that nothing is working. That could be frustrating. So as usual, I'm going to go through the book along with the presentation as well. But it says here, you are not a business. Sorry, you are not your business. Your business is an entity in and of itself. Yes, you created it, but in order to find success, you have to turn it into a self-sustaining organism, right? If we're in our business, most of us have very high-paying jobs, right? We know what we're doing. We can make a good living, but if we pull ourselves out of it, everything stops. So you need skills, tools, and a system to optimize your people, processes, execution, management, and communication. You need strong guiding principles that will work for your company day in and day out. This book contains all the tools and components that make the EOS system. It is a holistic, self-sustaining system that addresses 6 aspects of your business. Okay. So yeah, so they talked about the 5 things: lack of control, people, you're frustrated with your employees, profit, there's not enough of it, the ceiling, and then nothing's working. Did you guys have a chance to do the checkup? Yeah, Eric did. So maybe I'm imagining some people did, some people didn't.
Yep, I did it.
Okay. So I'm going to go over the 6 components of traction. If you have, actually, you know what? We'll just do it together. It's fine. If you haven't do it, I don't think everybody's done it, so we can just quickly go together and do that. So the 6 components. Number 1 is vision, people, issues, data, process, and then finally traction is the last component. So let's move forward here to the organizational checkup. So I want you to pull out a piece of paper, and all right, hopefully you have the book. If you have the book, it's right there. Oh, we got a couple people. Let me add them real quick. Daniel and Raul. So I want you to go through, if you don't have the book, just write it down. You're gonna rank all of these in order of 1 to 5, where 1 is you're weak in it and 5 is you're strong with it. Number 1, we have a clear vision in writing that has been properly communicated and shared by everyone. All right. Number 2, our core values are clear and we are hiring, reviewing, rewarding, and firing around them. So go ahead and do that one. Number 3, our core business is clear and our systems and processes reflect that. Number 4, our 10-year target is clear and has been communicated to everyone. Number 5, our target market is clear and our sales and marketing efforts are focused on it. Number 6, our differentiators are clear and all of our sales and marketing efforts communicate them. Number 7, we have a proven process for doing business with our customers. It has been named and visually illustrated and everybody is adhering to it. Number 8, all of the people in our organization are the right people. Hopefully, if you're a one-man band, this is a yes. Number 9, our accountability chart, organizational chart of roles and responsibilities is clear, complete, and constantly updated. I'm excited for this part personally. This is one part where we really need, we're struggling. Our team, we have a big team. We got 6 or 7 people and everybody kind of has their job, but every once in a while, something will come up like this needs to be done. Okay, well, whose job is that? Where does that fall under? So having an organizational chart detailed, and then anytime anything new comes up, you find out who it's for, put it in there. One thing that we just started doing is we're having our team at the end of each day, because we are very scattered, we're having them give us a list of everything that is done. So not only is that helping us track our employees so we can see what they're doing, but it's helping us create a to-do list. So now we'll go through and be like, all right, what is this person's, what is their job title? And then what are they doing? And so those are some of the things that we can help build our accountability chart. Number 10, is everybody in the right seat? The right people in the right seat. Number 11, our leadership team is open and honest and demonstrates a high level of trust. Mute all of this. Number 12, everyone has rocks and is focused on them. Rocks are 3 to 7 priorities per quarter. Number 13, everyone is engaged in regular weekly meetings. And then one thing that we are working on is we do have weekly meetings, but our weekly meetings are working in the business. So we have our weekly meetings and we go over our rental properties. We go over all the things that are actually in process. We have to have a weekly meeting that is based on our business, not in our business. Number 14, all meetings are on the same day and have the same time each week, have the same printed agenda, start on time and end on time. We definitely don't end on time, that's for sure. All teams clearly identify, discuss, and solve key issues for the greater good and long term. Number 16, our systems and processes are documented, simplified, and followed by all. 17, we have a system for receiving regular customer and employee feedback, and we know their level of satisfaction. Who's out there communicating with their client? Do you even know who your client is? That's a good question. 18, a scorecard for weekly metrics and measurables is in place. Who has their scorecard? Everyone in the organization has a number, and we'll go over that. Number 20, we have a budget and are monitoring it regularly, i.e. monthly or quarterly. Okay, so that's 20 questions. Everybody got them? All right. Stop your screen share, Jordan. All right, so as you can see, I've done this a few times. So the first time I did it was in green. The second time I did it was in blue. And now the third time I've done it, I just circled in blue. So guys, it's a work in progress. Don't beat yourself up. Look at this. So I know that I need a scorecard. Number 18, I know that I need a scorecard. And look at that. It's in green, it's a 1. In blue, it's a 1. And today, it's a freaking 1. So that's one of the things that we need to work on. We got to work on having a scorecard. So it's a work in progress. Hopefully each time you're getting better every time you do this, because I want you to do this every single quarter. All right, so everybody go through and do your math. So how many 1s do you have? And multiply it by 1. How many 2s do you have? And multiply that number by 2. And so on and so forth. 3, 4, 5. Let's see what I got. 1, 2. 4, 0, 2. I don't know about you guys. I don't have any 5s. So add them up. 14. All right. Who's got their score? If you got your score, raise your hand. Elizabeth, let's talk about it. What's your number?
77.
Ooh, girl. 77. That is a great number. Who else? So 77 means you are well above average. Very good. Who else? Who else has got a number? My number is 50. So I am above average, but there's still room for improvement.
42.
42, Eric. You're normal, but would you prefer normal or great? JT, what do you got? Unmute yourself.
44.
44, all right. Anybody else? Daniel, Kelly, Raul, Michelle? Even just type it in. If you can't talk, type it into the chat if you can. What are your numbers? Do we have any takeaways? Did you learn anything? Did you have any ahas from this? So I did. I always do. Like I said, the scorecard, that's something that I've always struggled with. So JT at 44, Daniel got a 37. Everybody in the organization has a number. That's something that we're struggling with. That's something that we need to be able to keep everybody accountable. So we need to have those KPIs. Elizabeth, what are you struggling with in it? Because you got some really high scores. You got a lot of 4s and 5s.
Yep.
What are
The biggest
your low scores?
The biggest thing that I'm struggling with is our 10-year target. So we just did an organizational shift, and we pretty much wiped the slate clean and started over. So that's the piece that we haven't really tackled, because we've been more concerned about developing our scorecards and diagnosing what the issues are within our organization. But everything else, we're pretty much at 4s. I mean, but we really worked hard to get there.
That's good. Who's in your team?
So we have 4 department heads, 1 executive assistant, and then we have a few acquisitions agent locals and about 35 VAs between the Philippines and Latin America.
Okay, perfect. And so are your VAs a big part of this system?
They follow their systems and processes, but no, the department heads, we're the ones that are local in the same office. We're the ones that follow this to a T as best as we can.
Okay. Are you already familiar with the EOS, or have you already started this system?
Yep, we've already started. We started last year. We even went to the point of getting our PI testing done. Yeah, we're like that. We're very granular with our operations, because we all came to the table with messy organizations. We didn't have any systems and processes for a long time. So when we decided to join forces, we decided to implement this precise system.
Perfect.
We don't have it all down yet. Reading and some of the things I put forward, it's because I have noticed that a couple of our teammates, we're not holding them accountable. We're not firing. And I'm talking about department heads, not so much our VAs. Our VAs, we are holding them to the fire, but department heads, not so much. And that's something we need to improve.
Very good. That's a great aha. Okay. Anybody else have anything on this part of it they want to comment on? So chapter 2 is, this is just such a huge problem for everybody, but we're going to kind of glide through this because I want to get to the vision part of it. Actually, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so the 6 key components. I went over this, but let's break it down. So vision, a successful business owners not only have a compelling vision for their organizations, but they also know how to communicate those visions to the people around them. They get everyone in the organization seeing the same clear image of where the business is going and how to get there. People, successful leaders surround themselves with great people. You can't build a great company without help. That is the truth. Be truly honest with yourself. A lot of people are all the people the right ones for the jobs? The reality is that some people are probably hurting your cause more than helping. Data, metrics, right? Metrics are huge. A lot of us don't even have that. Issues are something that you need to be coming up with your weekly meetings. So what are your key issues and how do you tackle those? Processes, we're going to be working big time on processes, and then traction is kind of putting it all together. Chapter 2, guys, this is all of us, right? Letting go of the vine. Nobody can do it like us. We're the best. It's crazy. If you're not happy with the current state of your company, you have 3 choices. You can live with it, leave it, or change it. You need to change from believing that you are your company and letting it become its own entity, letting go of your company. With the right vision, structure, and people in place, your company can evolve and realize its full potential. To be truly ready for this change, you must be willing to embrace the following 4 fundamental beliefs. Number 1, you must build and maintain a true leadership team. Number 2, hitting the ceiling is inevitable. Number 3, you can only run your business on one operating system. And number 4, you must be open-minded, growth-oriented, and vulnerable. Building a true leadership team. So the philosophy of this book advocates a healthy leadership team approach, where you build a team of people that define the company's vision with you. These leaders all have clear accountabilities and must be able to take initiative over their respective departments. You must also remain open and honest about all issues and be willing to fight for what's best for the company. So one thing I'd love to add here, guys, don't feel like it's just me and I can't do this because it's just me. Because you do have all these different parts of your business. You know, Elizabeth has 4 team leads. So do you. They're just all you right now. So don't forget to definitely spread everything out, because you need to have your organizational chart. You need to have everybody for when it's running at full capacity. You know, when you're having your vision, what kind of team would you need? And then you can, that's a great way to start replacing yourself, you know, knowing that this is a key component. So that's my first hire. This is my second hire. This is who I need to bring on next. You may find that you need a partner. You may find that you just can't do it by yourself, and you need to find somebody who has strengths that are opposite of you. So a lot of things to think about. Hitting the ceiling is inevitable. Organizations usually expand in spurts by smashing through a series of ceilings. Once you understand that hitting a ceiling is inevitable, you and your leadership team must employ 5 leadership abilities to reach the new level. Number 1, simplify. Number 2, delegate and elevate. Number 3, predict both long-term and short-term. 4, systematize. 5, structure your company the right way. You must be open-minded, growth-oriented, and vulnerable. Be willing to be open and to new and different ideas. If you don't know something, you have to admit you don't know. You have to be willing to ask for help. Most of all, you will know your strengths and weaknesses and let other people who are more skilled than you in a certain area take charge. You cannot embark on this journey if you're not willing to be vulnerable. You have to let your guard down to see your organization for what it is. Eliminate the facade with your leadership group and invite openness and honesty. You must also be growth oriented to take this journey. So one thing I heard from Gary Vee like 6 months ago, something like that really resonated with me is, what do you want to do? Do you want to grow a big business? Do you want to stay small? Like, if you really want to grow a real business, you need to be open and honest with yourself. You might not be a number 1. You might not be a number 2. You might be the most kick-ass number 3 out there. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to take a step back and let someone else do the things that you're not good at. Maybe you're a great implementer, but you don't have vision. Well, how are you going to grow your business if you don't have vision? So I'm one. A lot of people shy away from partnerships. I believe bringing other people into the business can help significantly. But yeah, you want to make sure you bring in people who are opposite of you. Yeah, so number 2 is letting go of the vine, and that's what they talked about, building a true leadership team. So let's move on to chapter 3. Where are we at on time? We're halfway through. Great. The vision component. All right. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to print it out. The VTO is on page. Come on, where is it? 72 and 73. Actually, that's where they filled theirs out. It's on page 32 and 33. So that is what we are going to be working on today and probably the next Friday as well. So it goes over several parts. So number one, what are your core values? This is where everything starts with the VTO, the Vision Traction Organizer. Core values are a small set of vital and timeless guiding principles for your company. These core values define your culture and who you truly are as people. Do we have any examples of, can somebody give us some of their core values?
So one of our big ones is champion positivity. That's the top for us. Whether it's within your organization for the best interest of the organization, and also anyone we come in contact with. Always champion positivity, improve daily. And another one that's big for us is remain humble. No matter where you go or how successful you become, just never forget where you came from.
Yeah, those are beautiful. I love those. Anybody else have one? Eric, JT?
Yeah, mine was just to always empower my clients with education. You know, it's like when there's me and also my TC, but it's like if we go through and give all of my clients the best education, the power to make good decisions, it really helps everybody out.
Very good. Anybody else?
Hey, Chris.
What's up,
go ahead.
Go ahead, JT.
Mine were honesty, organizational awareness, massive value, clear communication, and maximizing relationships.
Very good. Who else?
Mine are integrity and service when it comes to our clients.
Integrity and service. Okay. And and Kelly's a real estate agent. So what are your core values? A small set of vital and timeless guiding principles, 3 to 7. So it looks like, yeah, most of you had a few of them. So that's good. So to figure out what are your core values, in the book here, it goes over a few steps. So step 1, have each member of your leadership team list 3 people who, if you could clone them, would lead you to market domination. These 3 names should preferably come from inside the organization. Once each person has his 3, post all of the names on a whiteboard for everybody to see. And then step 2 is you're going to go over the names. So maybe they're not in your organization, but pick people who you think they personify what you want in your business. And then you list the characteristics of those people that those people embody. So here's a few examples that they say. Unequivocal excellence, continually strives for perfection, wins, does the right thing, compassion, honesty and integrity, hungry for achievement, works hard, is never satisfied, helps first, exhibits professionalism. You guys getting the point? Mm-hmm. Step 3, your organization's core values are somewhere in that long list you've just created. So now narrow it down. In the first edit, circle which ones are truly important, draw a line through those that are not, and combine those that are similar. Remember, the rule of thumb is between 3 and 7. Step 4, here's where you're going to make some tough decisions. Through group discussion and debate, decide which values really belong and are truly core. Remember, your goal is to get to 3 to 7. Here are some examples of EOS clients. So here's some examples of some around the world. So can do, Gumby, I don't know what that means. Service, results. This other one has clients' needs first, always. A complete wow experience. So a lot of people are going to be extremely customer oriented in their businesses. Like, for example, like me, so in my business, let's just talk about I got 2 businesses, and I will add, if you have 2 businesses, you need 2 of these, because your businesses are not going to be the same. I have recession-proof investments, which is our buy and hold rental business, and then I have South Phoenix Beautification Project Development. And so over on this side, the development side, who are my customers? My customers are the people who buy my product, but I never communicate with them, like buyers. So I don't know. So I guess finding out who your customer is, and then, so my main thing is going to need to be within my team and how we want to run the business on the inside, I would say. But for like Eric and Kelly, your business is people. Like every single time you make money, it's with a person, a new person typically as well. So that's big. Let's see, a fresh soup company. They said action oriented, can do attitude, no jerks, honest and open, passion for the brand. That's a great one. If you work for a brand, or if you have a brand, you got to have a passion for the brand. You know what I mean? It's got to be everywhere. Randall Industries says collaboration, enthusiastic, energetic, tenacious, and hardworking. Honesty and integrity, humility, pride in work. So now these are a lot of great things, but they've got to come from the top down, right? They've got to be what are truly in your business. For example, pride in work, or let's just say honesty and integrity. If the guy leading is not honest, and you know that that's not one of their main core things, it's not going to resonate. It's going to sound hollow whenever they see those up there. We have fun, right? That's a good one. We have fun. Well, if you just say it and you don't really have fun, and that's not really the culture, then it's not, your people are going to know that you're full of it. So, and then I highly recommend going to your team as well and asking them, what do you think our core values are? If you had to, if someone asks, what does our company value? What's most important in our company? Your people need to know that for sure. Next, what is your core focus? Your job as a leadership team is to establish an organization's core focus and not let anything distract you. So let's hear it. If anybody has it already, what is your core focus? Anybody want to volunteer? Jordan, what is the core focus of recession-proof investments?
Let me just go ahead and check.
No, you don't need to check. I'm asking your opinion. You work for my company, so I want to know what do you think our core focus is?
Oh, okay. Well, to make to build, creating wealth one investor at a time, right?
All right. So I muted you because it's loud in the background. So guys, that's a great example, right? Jordan is our #1, right? So you got me, BP, Jordan, and then the team goes below Jordan. Jordan doesn't know what our core focus is. Why? Because we've never gone over it. We've never told him what it is. We've dabbled in it, but we've never sat down and said, hey, this is our core focus. We've never brought it up meeting after meeting after meeting. That's see, so that's very eye-opening. But let's go over core focus. So a central concept of a core focus has been given many different names over time: mission statement, vision statement, core business, sweet spot, the zone, the ball. Dan Sullivan calls it unique ability. In Good to Great, Jim Collins calls it the hedgehog concept. I call it the core focus because it should come from your company's core and you must stay laser focused on it. Elizabeth, do you guys have a core focus on this?
We have many focuses, so we don't have one defined yet. That's the piece that we're still defining with that operation that I mentioned. Then I just joined another operation for another business, and we're pretty much cleaning house and starting from scratch again. And we haven't defined our focus on that one. We just defined our core values about a month ago.
Nice. Okay. So to determine your core focus, there's a few different things. So on the sheet, you'll see that it says your purpose, cause, passion, and then you're going to have your niche. So one thing that they're going to tell you is it certainly can't be about money, and it's got to be about more. So when I think about recession-proof investments, at the face of it, what are we doing it for, right? What it is we're buying a ton of rental properties for cash flow. So on the face of it, the goal is to make a lot of money with real estate. But to have a great business and have a great company, we have to be much more than that. Recession-proof investments, is our core focus on providing a return for our investors who are giving us the money in which we are going and managing? Is our core focus our tenants? Are we providing people a great place to live? And I think the outcome will really show with that. You know, if we go to where we don't even care about our tenants, that's how our company's going to be. We're going to be slumlords. We're going to be to where they don't matter, you know, only this side matters. So figuring out your core focus is really important, and then making sure it's the right thing. Here in the book, it says, core focus is actually very simple. Don't overthink it. After reading this section of the book, lock your leadership team in a room for a minimum of 2 uninterrupted hours. Start by asking them to write answers to the 2 questions below. Once everyone has finished, go around the table and have them share what they've written. Then open up the discussion for debate and talk as a group for as long as you need to. And then the questions. Number 1, why does your organization exist? What is its purpose, cause, or passion? I want everybody to write that down. 30 seconds. Why does your organization exist? What is its purpose, cause, or passion? If you have it, raise your hand.
I got mine, Chris.
Let's hear
It's win-win creative financial results through value through service with a clear communication.
it. Okay, one more time. Say that one more time.
Win-win creative financial results, value through service and clear communication.
Okay. Who's your client?
My clients are like my buyers pretty much right now.
So
That'd be
you're
my main
you're a
target.
wholesale buyer. So you're a wholesale company and you provide deals for your people, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, very good. I'll go with mine. I need to find a good, what is it called? An adjective or something that describes. So ours, I would say, is to provide high returns, or no, sorry, to achieve high returns by providing blank housing to our tenants. So I got to think of the good word, because it's not going to be, we focus on a certain level. So we're not providing the nicest in the whole world, but I want to provide a good quality product. So maybe that's our word, maybe a quality housing to the tenant, depending on, you know, what level it is. We always want to be a little bit nicer than the competition. So maybe that's what I'll put.
Chris, I was thinking of adequate, but I don't think that's the right word.
Adequate is the word that kept coming, but that is such a, that's not a stellar word at all.
No.
I don't want to have an adequate company. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't want to do that.
that's what kept coming to me, because we want to provide, you know, the very, at least the minimums. You know, we don't want to have any bad properties. We don't want to have any properties that just people hate living in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who else? Who else has one? Anybody? All right. Did we lose Eric? I think we lost Eric. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. Raul, Daniel, Michelle, you guys want to enter in here? You're very welcome to join the conversation. All right, number 3, what is your 10-year target? So Elizabeth said she was struggling with this one. And I think things are going to change as well. 10 years, I think, is a really, what do they say? People underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years, and they seriously overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year. So 10 is your BHAG. It's your big, hairy, audacious goal, right? So do we have any 10-year goals out there? Daniel's driving, so he can't provide. No worries, Daniel. Big 10-year target. So if we had to throw ours out there, I would say for recession-proof investments, our 10-year target would probably be to have, I don't know, 1,000 units, 1,000 doors. So it can be a number of units. It can be a number of income. So maybe we could say we want to have 1 million passive a year.
Hey, Chris, Raul here. Can I jump in?
Please do.
All right. So I've actually been thinking about the 10-year target probably about the last 2 weeks pretty straight, because I quickly realized that myself and my business partner couldn't do everything, right? So I actually just hire on a commission basis a person to help with a lot of the smaller tasks that I wanted to get off my plate. But as I was doing that, I figured, you know, what are the right people that I need on the right seats in the bus, right? So kind of back to what you were thinking, and to link all that to the 10-year target is, my business partner and I, we need to create a company that will provide enough passive income for myself, for himself, for the person that we just hire, and for 2 other people that we need on a team, so that we could all retire from our day jobs and just, you know, be able to focus on this company and keep growing it, right? But that 10-year target is, you know, be able to provide enough passive income for the 5 people in the bus to leave their W-2 jobs.
Beautiful. That's great. So you can figure out that number, and that can be your 10-year target. And again, remember, guys, it's not something that is permanent. You're going to be having these meetings every 3 months. So things can change, and things should change. A lot of times we need to pivot out of our current goals. A lot of times we grow out of our goals. You know, we think we want something, but then once we get into the middle of it, we realize that's not at all what we want. Thanks, Raul. Anything else? How about your core focus or core values? Any of those that you have written down?
Yeah, so last night when I started the book, I started on the core values. I got one down pretty good, I think. One of them is result orientation, right? So I have to set challenging and competitive goals. We have to focus on the output, not on the activity. We have to assume responsibility, right? Learn quick, right? So if I mess up, hey guys, it's my fault. It won't happen again, right? And then along with result orientation, I have to start documenting the process that I want everybody else to follow, right? Because I have it in my head, right? But it won't help me or the company if I have it in my head and I'm not the one that is actually doing the task.
Very good. All right, a little help here. How to set a 10-year target. Meet with your leadership team and discuss where you want to take your organization. A word of caution is in order here. While your core values and your core focus are already present within your organization, your 10-year target will be different. I've never seen a team land on the same page with a 10-year target on the first go around, so be patient with your first attempt. Start off by asking how far they would like to look. Oh, that's another thing. Your 10-year doesn't have to be a 10-year. It just needs to be your long-term goal. So that's, this is your business. You can run this however you want. So it could be your 7-year, it could be a 20-year, however far out you want to push that. I would ask everybody what they believe the revenue size of the organization could be at that point. So, set it out, your future date, and then what do you think your revenue is going to be? These different, this is a particularly fun question, and you'll probably get a wide range of responses. These different figures should start to get everyone talking and ultimately sync with each other. Once those two questions have primed the pump, ask everyone what they believe the target is. It may take a few meetings to settle on an answer. I've had to come back to certain EOS clients with the same question every quarter until they nailed it. Now, why is this important, guys? Especially if you have a leadership team, especially if you have a partner. What if your 10-year goal is we want to have 200 million in sales, and they're just like, no, I want to have like 20 million in sales. Like 200? Are you crazy? Because when you're looking at it, what would 200 take? Now maybe you need a team of 50 people, and maybe your partner never doesn't want anything to do with that. Maybe they want to keep it lean and small and keep a majority of the profits in-house instead of going big and having a big nut to fill every month. So this will create clarity. You want to figure out what's happening 10 years down the road until you get 10 years down the road. And now you have to break up a company because you weren't on the same page from day one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's our 10-year target. I forgot on the core focus, there was a second piece is what is your niche? So the niches make the riches, right? Isn't that what they say? So definitely focus. So for example, we don't buy rental properties anywhere. So we're in Phoenix, Arizona, and most of our portfolio is not in Phoenix, Arizona. So we have a niche for our apartments, but we've actually kind of moved away from that just because it was a little bit too broad and it was spreading us all over the country. So we picked one city. We picked Cleveland for our single family and small multifamily properties. And then not only did we pick Cleveland, we picked we have like 5 zip codes that we buy in Cleveland. So I don't want to have properties all over the place. So we have a lot of neighborhoods that we will buy in. So our niche is Cleveland single families under 50,000 that we rent to Section 8. Like that's our niche. So if you and we want to be the under 50 is big. So a lot of times people will bring me properties. Last night I got one. It's worth like 95. And so how much are we going to be in it? I told them we got to be in for less than 50. So the numbers make sense at 60, 70, but that's not our niche. That's not what we do. It doesn't work for us. So it's, what is your niche? That's very, very important as well, because you want to be able to go deep on that. Let's see, we got a comment here.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
talking about your niche, how do you stay true to your niche and not get distracted by all the shiny objects right around you? Right, like back to your example, maybe that property was, you know, a good opportunity, right? And maybe would have worked in whatever niche that falls into, but it's not what you do, right? It's not your niche. So how do you stay true and not say, hey, this is a good opportunity, let's also take it on?
So I think that's going to come up with when you're making your decisions. So your buying criteria, it would be, does it fit in our box, right? Is it under 50,000? No. Okay. Why are we buying it then? Well, because it's a good deal. Well, but we don't buy these, right? So I would say, have your parameters, maybe have a plus or minus, you know, if it's 51,000, maybe you'll do it. Maybe you have a $5,000 buffer, but in general, you don't want to be this. And then I would say for my example, I should have a list of people that I could pass that on to so I can still make money off of it. So it could be, you know, we buy anything that meets this criteria, we wholesale anything that meets this criteria, and we don't even respond to anything that's outside of those. No, I'm reading a great book called Essentialism right now, and really the power of no is huge. You gotta really focus. Especially with like wholesalers and stuff. JT, you guys, I'm sure you have your wholesalers are notorious for going after whales, right? So you'll be knocking it out, single family, boom, boom, boom. You got your buyers list, and then you get 4,000 square footer in Paradise Valley, right? And you're like,
right.
we're gonna make 6 figures on this. We're gonna do this for that. But that's not your niche. That's not where your buyers are at, right, JT?
Right.
So just you're spinning wheels on that. My good friend Elijah, that dude's had so many whales in the pipeline, but it's not his specialty. For example, like land.
Yeah.
Like if you've never done land before and you get a lead on 80 acres, that's not your wheelhouse. You don't know those people. Not to me, you can't.
You just start spinning your wheels though, wasting a lot of time and energy on something that's distracting from your original pipeline. And I've done it many a times. We all do it.
Realtors, definitely know your niche, focus on it, and don't vary. You may even say no, but again, I don't do $1 million, or I only do $1 million, right? So have your referrals, because you never want to waste a lead, but you don't want to focus on things that is not your core focus and your niche. All right, next, where are we doing? Oh man, we're up on it. It's almost 11 o'clock. So we're gonna go for another couple minutes. Let's try to finish page 1. Let's go over marketing strategy and 3-year picture, and then we'll dive into the next page next week. You know what? Let's just do marketing strategy. Let me see if I got something. Let me share my screen. Nate, thanks for joining. Sorry you had a hard time figuring it out. Sometimes Zoom can just be weird. So number 4, what is your marketing strategy? A marketing strategy is made up of 4 elements. Your 3 uniques, what makes you different, your guarantee, your proven process, and then your target market, your list. We all got to have great lists, right? So why don't we go through real quick? What are 1, 2, or 3 uniques? What makes your company unique from everybody else? And I know this can be different. This can be difficult, especially for people like real estate agents, people who it's you. You are the face. Like, what makes you different? So I would love to hear some examples of your 3 uniques. Anybody? All right. So 3 uniques for us. I would say.
Sorry, I was talking. My mute was on.
Oh.
This is Nate. I've experienced over the years. I've only done wholesale since I started. I've gone through different types of ways to kind of stand out, and my new kind of slogan, company name is hard to sell. Like, we buy the houses that are hard to sell. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I was interviewed by Fox News for putting out signs that say we buy meth houses, and it got all this like negative response, and it ended up getting me into some trouble. So I had to think of a different strategy that was something that wasn't so, I guess, offensive. People took a lot of offense to that. So I just basically changed it to, we buy the houses that are hard to sell. So that was that's my new kind of website and everything. So that was one of the things that, I kind of had to think about, like, how can I, because it's like we buy houses, or that's every other bandit sign.
Right.
So, we buy meth houses didn't work as well as I thought it would. It actually got me a couple of deals, but it did get me a call from the code violation officer and all that. So,
Right.
yeah, so I had to kind of change it, and I've been getting a better response just for, we buy the houses that are hard to sell. So, it's working a little bit better.
Nice. Very good. So yeah, so you're unique. So let me give you a few examples. There's this guy in Phoenix. He's a real estate agent, and his thing is his unique, I would say, moves into number 2, his guarantee. Sold in 73 or 72 hours. Like, that's his thing. I will sell your house in 72 hours. And I'm pretty sure his strategy is he lists it for under market value and he drives it up with multiple offers. And so it's easy for him to say he's going to sell it in 72 hours. He probably gets an offer in the first hour because it's priced below market value. And so that's his thing. That's his unique proposition. And then that's his guarantee. His guarantee is, I'll sell your house in 72 days. So if you're a wholesaler, what's a good guarantee that you can have? Close in 7 days or less, or, top
earnest
dollar.
money that day.
What's
Same
that?
day earnest money. Same day earnest money.
Right.
Excess proceeds, stuff like that.
We will write you an offer the day that we see your property. How about that? A lot of that may be a good one. Let's see, a guarantee for our rental company. What could that be? That could be, it could be something to where it's Section 8 quality guaranteed. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. We focus on providing housing to Section 8. Section 8 inspectors can be a little bit picky. So, we'll, or we can do this in a certain amount of time, or, that's why you get together with your team and you figure out what is your guarantee. So your target market, they kind of did this backwards. Your proven process is, that's through your marketing strategy. So that, I think marketing is probably the easiest system to actually set up. What's your target? How are you going to do it? So for example, for a real estate agent, it could be, this is the neighborhood. We market them, we hit them 4 times a month. We hit them once with a letter, once with a door hanger, and once with a door knock, once with whatever, a holiday card or whatever. And so that's your process of it. And those are really easy to give away. And last is your target market, your list. You got to be specific on your marketing strategy, right, guys? So Nate wants meth houses. So you got to go find that list. You got to have a list of meth houses. Kelly, Let's see. Integrity, customer service focus, service first, always available, guarantee, under promise and over deliver. There you go. Kind of vague, Kelly. I think your guarantee may need to be a little bit more direct. You know, find you, you know, the house of your dreams or whatever. When I was a real estate agent, one of my things was you're never going to buy a house that's not a 9 or a 10. So I would always have them go out and, you know, every single house, I would have them rated on a scale of 1 to 10. And if it's not a 9 or a 10, we're not even looking at it. You know, I'm not going to let you buy an 8. We're going to find you the house that's right for your family. It could be, if you're a lender, it can be, you know, we close our loans in 30 days or less. You know, that could be your guarantee. Lots of different things. Let's see. We got a little message from Daniel too. His 1-year goal, 5 rentals, 3-year, 50, 5-year, 200, 10-year, 1,000 doors. Your target is Facebook ads, pay-per-click, and direct mail. Very good. Thanks for sharing that. So does anybody have any examples of their, all right, so let's dig a little bit. So your 3 uniques are your differentiators, they're your value proposition. Plainly put, these are what make you different, what make you stand out with what you're competing with. And a lot of times, ask somebody else what's unique about you. A lot of times we have a hard time looking at ourselves the way other people see us. So ask your team, ask your friends and family what makes you unique. How to create your proven process. Step 1, with your team, illustrate on a whiteboard what you believe are the major steps in your proven process. Give each step a name. These major steps are the touch points with your customers when you interface with them. The rule of thumb is 3 to 7 steps. So they gave us an example. Financial service company, wealth strategies. It took them 3 hours to provide this process. After much discussion and debate, the team agreed it had 6 steps in a proven process. Step 1, discovery. Step 2, solution presentation. Step 3, competitive bidding. Step 4, solution presentation number 2. Number 5, solution implementation. Number 6, review and service. Step 2, once your steps have been determined, add 2 to 5 bullet points under each item. Those are your talking points. Step 3, give your proven process a name. Number 4, give it a visual based on your company's colors, logos, and look and feel. Number 5, have it professionally printed. Then you have that out there. You have your strategy and your proven process, so everybody knows. Nobody's Raul had to drop. Awesome, man. Thanks. See you next week. Anybody want to discuss their proven process or their target market?
So for us, I'll share a little bit, just kind of globally how our ecosystem looks like. So we have a wholesale operation where we also focus on targeting the Hispanic community, where we do a lot of Spanish speaking cold calling. And we also do creative financing and owner financing. And so we have so many systems and processes in place because each department has their dedicated list of processes. For example, we have our beginning with our data. We have one person in charge with their team for data. We do batch stacking, we skip trace and all that good stuff, and they do data mining. Then we have the marketing strategies, which right now we're mainly focusing on SMS and cold calling. Soon we will add PPC, but right now we have 2 teams handling each. Then from there, we have the acquisitions team, where we have our cold callers are actually some really good closers, and we're navigating more in the virtual wholesaling piece of it. So we have people doing offers over the phone, and we also have local acquisitions. So each department, we get very granular to the point of, okay, we have an opportunity / lead. What do we do from there? All the steps from 1 to 20, as many steps as necessary. From then, once we have a purchase agreement, then TC comes in, which is transaction coordinator. What do they do? The moment they receive a file, how do they extract the file? Do they get an email? Do they get a text notification? Are they notified on Slack? So we have it all systematized now where our CRM notifies us via email and in our Slack channel that there is a new contract in place, and we need to start working on opening title and all those good things. So we have it all very, very granular, which is, we've spent a lot of time doing that. I know I said that, but I can't emphasize that enough, how time is so important.
And I think that rolls into how you keep your team accountable, right?
Yes.
So knowing exactly what they are doing, now you can help put a number to it. So if this person needs to your cold caller, they got to hit a certain amount or a certain amount of conversations or whatever.
Yeah.
And everything has a number. So yeah, having your process is going to help you come up with your KPIs in the future.
Yep. And each team, we have KPIs. We have weekly, monthly KPIs that we review. Well, on a weekly basis to keep us accountable, monthly on a monthly basis, of course.
Beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate you sharing that. All right, guys. So it's been an hour. We're going to put a pin in this right now. So we went over our core values, our core focus, our 10-year target, and then we got into our marketing strategy. Okay. So you have homework. Luckily, you don't have to read anymore. Now, if you haven't read the first 3 chapters, read the first 3 chapters. But next week, I just want to dig into this more. So we're going to complete this. So next week, we're going to be going over the 3-year picture, your 1-year plan, your rocks, and then your issues list. Okay. So it may even be a shorter one, but we are going to knock this out. Again, guys, I want to implement. Just reading a book is no good if you don't implement what you learn. This is the most implementable book that you can ever work with. So we are going to do this. I want you guys to actually have this. So if you have team members, take this to your team members. Talk about what we discussed. Read the first parts of vision and have these. I mean, literally, guys, it tells you exactly how to do this in your meetings. So sit down with your team, sit down with your leadership team. If it's just you, then great. Sit down with you and hash these out. Write them out. Ask for, you could even Google other people's core values, what other people do, other companies. So lots of different resources for this. If you need help, reach out on our page, or I think we started a group as well. So you guys can definitely hit each other up. You know, I'm struggling with my 10-year target. You know, I think I'm thinking too small. I think I'm thinking too big. And, you know, we can chat in there. So for next week, make sure that you've read chapters 1 through 3. And then I want to make sure that this first part, core values, core focus, 10-year, and your marketing strategy are all complete. And then we're going to work on your 3-year picture and then page 2. Questions? All right. Very good. Again, we'll be posting this. If you want to go check this out another time, we'll be posting this on the Leveling Up page as well as my YouTube. So reach out if you got any questions. Thank you all for showing up. And my team, we absolutely got to have a meeting for this. So Jordan, make sure that everybody on our team has completed the checklist, the organizational checklist, because it doesn't really matter as much what I think, but what my team thinks. That's, you know, that's going to be very important as well. So all you guys fill those out and we'll go over them during our meeting. So next Friday, 10 a.m., we're going to get started with the rest of the VTO. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next week.